All right, hi, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Yoga for Everybody. Let's get comfortable from any seated position. Allow yourself to establish a heaviness in the hips. You may want to turn the palms up. Sometimes this helps to bring the shoulders back, opening up the chest for an easier breath. You could always lean forward a little bit and even relax your head and your neck. Let's start by breathing in through the nose and practice a few heavy exhales from the throat. Maybe let the shoulders rise as the breath rises, breathing from the belly through the ribs up to the heart. A few more deep, exaggerated breaths. Inhaling through the nose as much as possible. At any time, you could use the mouth to inhale or exhale. From wherever you are, let's take our hands, bring them up by your ears. And of course, you could be exaggerating, sitting tall, maybe even leaning back a little or lean forward a little bit. From here, we're going to close the elbows in, opening up the back of the heart. And you're welcome to sit tall or round the upper back a little bit. As you inhale, open the elbows. Imagine you're trying to make like a little half arcing circle with your elbows to stretch the armpits, maybe even looking up towards the sky. Big inhale. And then exhale, slowly relax it down and in, maybe even a small abdominal contraction. Let's inhale, opening up. Option to look up if it feels good, to stretch through the front of the neck and throat. Exhale, slowly bringing it in, chin in towards the chest, belly into the spine. Let's try a few more like this. So once the movement gets familiar in the body, focus on the breath, allowing the breath to initiate the movement. As we notice that it's time to inhale, we initiate that opening, lifting, expanding, exaggeration with the inhale. And when we notice the breath wants to leave, we notice that exhale, then we begin to slowly contract, pulling the navel to the spine so that we move every bit of breath up and out from the body. Option to close the eyes, tuning in to each rhythmic inhale, each rhythmic exhale, and notice when the movement is inspired. It's just a fraction of a moment when we might become aware of the breath in or the breath out. Notice that fraction of a moment, that moment when we decide to act with the breath. Let's try one more of each. When you're ready, take your time, come up to easy seated. Let's bring the palms of the hands down onto the knees, shifting forward as we inhale. Let's pull up through the heart and open the throat. Hug the elbows in, really tight to your waist while you pull forward and lift, exaggerating a flip back through the hips. And as you exhale, pull the belly button back. Reach the arms out in front of you towards the floor and drop the chin. Inhaling, hands to knees, elbows to the waist. Shifting forward, scooping up the breath, leading with the heart, opening the throat, and then exhaling, drawing the navel back. Hands go forward, separating the shoulders from the spine. Inhaling, coming forward, reminiscent of a cow pose. Exhaling, reach forward dynamically, pull the navel in and back, very reminiscent of cat pose. Let's try one more of each. Inhaling forward, elbows in tight, pull up through the ribs, squeeze into that armpit region. We want to squeeze the larger lymph nodes by the breast region. And then exhale, open up that space, stretching the muscles across the back and under the armpits. From here, let's come forward. Inhaling, taking the left arm straight up overhead. Maybe take the right arm down to the floor and push with your right hand as if you're pushing away, actively feeling there's an energy that drops down into your left hip. So if you maybe are looking for a little more connection in that left hip, we could always try to lift the right hip a little bit away from the floor. You could even add just a little bit of a folded up yoga mat underneath that right hip. And even though the hips might be a little unlevel, that's okay. This is helping us to focus on opening the left side of the body a little more. As we inhale, let's reach dynamically at the top of the breath. We may want to look up, forward, or over that right shoulder. Inhale, big breath. Exhale, slowly lower the left arm down. Maybe go ahead and move the foundation around. Maybe add a little bit of elevation under that left hip. Let's inhale the right arm up. Taking our left hand to the floor, we're pushing away with that hand. So there's this sensation of maybe we're creating a little bit of a side bend while we anchor down into that right hip, turning the right hand as if you're going to screw in a light bulb. It's that type of action. We can look up, straight ahead, or over our left shoulder. No matter where you are, exaggerate the reach at the top of the inhale. So let's exhale all the way. And now big breath in. Exaggerate that stretch from the armpit. When you're ready, come to center. Let's lower that hand down. From here, take your feet out in front of the body, having the knees bent. Let's draw the hands past the hips. At this point, if we're noticing any tenderness in the wrist, any pain at all, you could try using fist with the thumbs towards your hips, or come down onto your elbows for the next few movements. From wherever you are with this, see the feet at about hips width distance. Let's inhale in place. Exhale, knees sway over to the right. As you're over to the right, no matter where you are with your foundation, notice if you can lift that left hip just a little more. So you're getting a bigger stretch along the side of the body. Let's bring it through center. Inhale in place. Exhale, twist over to the left. And maybe try to lift that right hip off of the floor. Coming through center, inhale. Exhale, twist. Option to add a little bit of a hip lift, peeling up through the back. Moving through center. So if this feels pretty comfortable for your body, we may want to experiment with taking one hand away from the floor. Exhaling, knees to the right, and maybe take the left hand up and begin to rotate over a little bit. Let's come through center. Find the breath, inhale in place. Exhale, knees twist over to the left. Maybe lifting up that left hand and adding in just a gentle rotation through the trunk of the body. Inhaling through center, light on the hands, light on the elbows, gentle twist. Maybe lifting up an arm, reaching overhead. Let's bring it through center. Last time. Evening this up on left and right. Big reach. And now come through center. Now, if you're on your hands, take it down to your elbows. Let's all meet down on our elbows. And just for a moment, let those knees go to one side. Let's come down into lie on our side. And from our sides, we can lie on our backs. Let's establish a nice, comfortable supine position with the knees bent. Inhale, take the arms up and overhead, flowing bridge. Exhale, lowering the hands down. Inhale, pull back through the heels and press down into the feet, lifting the hips. Exhale, lower the hips. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, lifting the hips, alternating the flow of the hips with the flow of our arms. Every inhale, every exhale has a unique movement, choreographing the practice to the rhythm of the breath. You can always move a little faster or even a little slower. Since this is repetitive, you don't have to keep the same pace as me. Instead, let your breath create the rhythm. Inhaling, arms reach overhead. Big breath in at the top of the breath. Stretch from your armpits. Exhale. Inhaling, pulling back through the heels and down into the soles of the feet. Bridge pose. Exhale, relax. Let's do one more of each. Just working a little bit more range of motion and stretch through the shoulders. And then introducing just a little bit more muscle activation into the hips, lifting, maybe squeezing the buttocks and glutes. When you're ready, relax. Let's draw the left knee in towards the chest. Option 2, peel the head away from the mat. Maybe take one hand behind the head to support that contraction. Relax down. Let's switch knees, right knee into the chest, maybe left hand behind the head, contracting on the exhale. Relaxing on the inhale. When you're ready, exhale, switch. You could always add in a pause so that the body has more than enough time to transition. We definitely don't want the body to feel rushed or hurried through the practice. When we hurry or when we rush, we usually lack awareness, which means the body can get injured. So we just want to slow things down. Let's even this up on the left and right side of the body. From here, let's draw both knees in. Hold on behind the thighs. Go ahead and roll out the ankles a little bit and point and flex the toes. So we're just allowing the body a little bit of time to check in with some circulation through the legs. Wiggle the toes out. When you're ready, bend the knees, lower the feet. Let's roll over to our side and come around into any all fours position. Either on the hands, starfish hands, fist for wrist, thumbs are facing forward, or onto the elbows. From wherever we are, let's inhale, traditional cow, dropping the belly, lengthening through the spine, looking straight ahead. Exhale, pulling the navel up, allowing the head to drop as a natural extension of the upper back and spine. Let's inhale into cow. Exaggerate the breath in through the nose or the mouth. Exhale to cat. Maybe adding in a little bit of that ha breath on the exhale. Inhaling, flare out your nostrils, exaggerate the inhale. And then exhale as if you're fogging a mirror. Let's try a couple more. Inhale, stretch through the belly and the intestines. This is used to promote a faster metabolism and also better digestion. Exhale, contract, drop the head. Let's hold it here in cat. Shake the head, yes. And turn the head left and right. Let's find any neutral position with the head and the neck. Come to neutral spine. From wherever you are, let's take our moment and notice if we want to step with the left or the right foot forward into a lunge. From here, tucking our back toe, let's bring it into a standing forward fold. And when it feels right for you, reverse swan dive. Inhale, bringing the arms up and overhead. Let's draw the hands down to the heart. Scoop up the breath a few more times, inhaling arms overhead, extended mountain. Exhaling hands to the heart, Anjali Mudra. One more time through, big breath in, extended mountain. Exhaling Anjali Mudra. Let's change it up just a little bit. Inhaling arms overhead, palms facing back, elbows are a little bit bent. Option to lift your heels. Imagine the elbows are being pulled in. So maybe the elbows are pulled in so tight that if you take your head left and right, you could feel the head or the ears touching your biceps. With that little lift in the heels, we might want to look up, reaching back a little more. Dropping the heels, exhale, swan dive all the way down to a forward fold. Hands might go to the thighs, the shins, or all the way touching the floor. Let's shake the head out. Bring out the neck. Breathe from the throat. Let's see the feet at hips width, spreading out your toes. Reverse swan dive. Extended mountain. Palms go back, elbows bent, elbows pull in so that the biceps are close to our ears. Shifting forward, we lift the heels just enough to slide a credit card under the feet, maybe then a little higher. Looking up, pressing back a little more, opening up the muscles of the chest and the belly. When you're ready, drop the heels, swan dive all the way down. Any forward fold that works for your body. If you know that you're prone to dizziness at all, keep the hands on your thighs. Let's shake out the head and the neck. Exaggerate that exhale with a hop. When you're ready, deep bend in the knees, feet at hips width, reverse swan dive. Last time through, palms back, elbows bent, elbows coming in tight, lifting the heels, extended mountain, looking up, opening the throat. Utthita Tadasana, extended mountain energy. When you're ready, drop the heels, swan diving, forward fold. Bring out the neck, shake the head, big exhale. Let's slowly bring the hands up onto the thighs. Take the feet out a little wider than your mat into a plie position. Let's turn the toes out and the heels in, extending the arms out and overhead into 5-pointed star position. As you exhale, gently come down into a conservative squat. See that the knees are bending in the same direction as your second, third, and fourth toes. Elbows are coming in towards the waist, pulling the chest forward and shoulders back. Inhale, reaching up overhead. 5-pointed star. Exhale, coming down into our moon flower squat. Elbows pull back, chest and heart forward. Couple more. Inhale. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale from the throat. Lips can be together or push the breath out from the belly and throat. Couple more. Big breath in. Exhale. Option to close the eyes at any time. It's natural to feel a little wobbly or unsure when we close our eyes. Inhale, arms overhead. As we exhale, let's slowly bend the knees and now twist a little bit to the right. So maybe as the elbows bend, maybe we're reaching in opposite directions with the hands. Pulling our shoulder back, whichever shoulder is behind us as we reach back, twisting towards one side. When you're ready, come up, inhale, both arms overhead. Exhale, bending the knees, little bend in the elbows, adding in that trunk rotation, pressing the arms out in opposite directions. So if you're twisting to the left, pull that left shoulder back and reach forward and across with your right arm. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, little bend in the elbows, adding in that rotation with the bent elbow. So we reduce injury to the spine. Once we have that rotation, reaching out through the fingertips in opposite directions. Big smile, inhale, bring it through center, exhale, twisting with the bent elbows, then dynamically reaching out. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive, scoop at the earth. So just add a little scoop. Push your hips back, making the back flat, scooping gently, and then inhale, rising up, sunflower flow. Exhale, coming down, sweep with the hands. Inhale, rising up. Now allow the arms to cross over while you scoop with the hands. So let's do a little bit of brain work here. Notice which arm is dominant. Maybe when you come up, put your left arm in front of the right. And now exhale, come down, left arm in front of the right. Inhale, come up. Right arm in front of the left. Exhale down, right arm in front of the left. Inhale, left arm dominant, left arm in front. Exhale down, left arm in front. Inhale up, right arm in front. Exhale down, right arm in front. Let's try this one more time. Inhale, left arm in front. Exhale, left arm in front. Inhale, right arm. And finally, exhale down, right arm in front. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, bring the hands to the thighs, press the hips back. You could even put the hands on top of the knees if you like. From here, let's bring our left shoulder forward, looking over the right shoulder. Inhale to center, bringing that right shoulder forward. Still a nice, gentle trunk rotation, just from a little bit of a different position. So hopefully we're able to wake up some different muscles in the back and spine. Inhaling, exhale, gentle twist. Drop in with that shoulder. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist. One more to each side. Last one. Inhale, center. Hold it here. Let's find the breath, moving through 3 lion's breaths. Big inhale. Exhale, mouth open. Last one. When you're ready, bring it up. Let's walk our feet into hips width distance. From here, stepping the left foot back a short stride for warrior one. Inhaling, arms overhead, reaching towards the skies. If you're holding on to a 10-pound bowling ball, feeling an energy that reaches up and also pressing down and back. Lunge your weight forward, pull the arms back just a little bit. Let's pull out from the armpits, from wherever you are. Pat yourself on the back with your right hand. And let's take that left arm and circle it, maybe just 3 times back and around. Inhale, open, exhale, circle back. Inhale, exhale, circle back. Last one, big breath in. Circle back, let's hold the left hand down by the low back. Cow's face arms. Stretching open through the elbows. Noticing a stretch that moves from your left foot up to the left hip, across to the right armpit, and out the right elbow. So we're working with what's called a spiral line of fascia, connecting tissue that helps us to effectively rotate the trunk of the body. This would be an functional energy. So if you're bending over to unload a dishwasher or to rotate laundry from the dryer to from the washer to the dryer, or even if you're getting bags of groceries out the trunk of your car, this is a functional movement energy that we're working on. From wherever you are, take the right hand, bring it down by the low back, option to lace your fingers behind you, chest expansion. Let's straighten that right leg. Inhale, pull up from the ribs and the heart. Maybe even look up just a little bit. Exaggerate the inhale around the heart at least 3 times. Big inhales. The big inhale is, inhale is much bigger than the exhale here. One more. When you're ready, soften that front leg. Let's step to the top of our mat. Release the hands. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, take the arms back and sit back into chair pose of your body's choice, feeling as if the hips are angling back a little bit like cow pose. And we can always add a little bit of a lift in the heels just to create a little bit more of a balance challenge. Sometimes lifting the heels can take away pain in the knees. It just creates a different angle and a different energy in your kneecaps. Imagine a yoga block between the knees and the thighs. You're welcome to try coming down just a little lower. At any time, if you're noticing that there's a little element of fatigue in this, put the hands on the legs and make it all about saturating the energy in your legs. Take the arms out of it all together. One more easy breath. When you're ready, slowly come up to standing. See that the feet are hip or pelvic width. Inhale the arms overhead. Let's step our right foot back, warrior one, reaching up dynamically, shifting forward, bent left knee, pressing down and back as we lift up and move forward, warrior one. Option to close your eyes. Notice if the body begins to wobble or shift, just noticing without judgment. From wherever you are, let's slowly pat ourselves on the back with that left hand. Then take that right arm back and around. Inhaling at the top of the breath, we reach out from the armpit. And then exhale, circle it back. Little bit of rotation, just the tiniest fraction of rotation with the trunk of the body. You don't want to twist too much here, or it could twist your knees. When you're ready, place that right hand at your low back. Press down and back into the right foot. Find that energy that moves up, trying to lift the right kneecap to the hip. And then open up to your left armpit with an energy that moves out to the left elbow. Keep bending that left knee, so we're lunging forward and pulling up with the left elbow and a little bit back. Big exaggerated breaths in the chest and around the heart. When you're ready, release that left hand to your low back. Option to lace the fingers or keep the elbows in and low. 3 exaggerated inhales, straighten the left leg. Chest expansion, that proud bird expression, bowing out the chest with the breath. From where you are, soften through that front knee. Let's slowly bring the hands onto the hips. From here, step forward, shake out the knees. Let's inhale the arms up and overhead. Big breath in. Exhaling into chair pose. Option to keep the palms forward at shoulder height. It is very traditional to see the arms up by the ears. However, this is also considered very strenuous to the neck and the spine. So usually we recommend for Western culture and our culture of sitting and corporate type jobs, we say keep the hands down a little bit. Now, as an alternative, maybe turn the palms up. This is something we already practiced today, elbows in tight. And then we could reach the arms out with the palms up and then maybe try to pull up. So rotate your fingers as if you're trying to open a book. Option to lift the heels, squeeze in through the knees, drop the hips just a little more, push the buttocks back. When you're ready, drop the heels, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive. Lay down the breath. Shake the head, yes, and turn it left and right. When you're ready, let's deepen our bend in the knees. Walk the hands up to the thighs. Let's find a flat back while we're lifted halfway. So we're experimenting with monkey pose here today. You're welcome to take your palms and invert them. It looks really funny. You'll see it does look a little bit like monkey or gorilla type posture. So we're taking our palms, slide the knuckles along your thighs, fingertips up towards the hips, and then allow your spine to round a little bit here. And let the head hang loose. Allow your shoulders to come up towards your ears. So we're stretching the muscles along the sides of the spine, possibly stimulating some kidney and adrenal gland function. You're welcome to bring the hands down if that's comfortable. Palms are still up. If we find that our feet are accessible, we could rest the wrist on our feet or take the hands under your feet. You're welcome to try stepping on the palms of your hands in this more traditional expression of a gorilla or a monkey. No matter where you are, the exhale is heavy and exaggerated. 2 more. Let's take our time to slowly release the hands. Maybe come up halfway or more. Let's find the breath. Roll out the wrist. And then make your way into standing. All right, let's shake the body off a little bit before we go into our standing balancing pose. If you want to grab a sip of water at this time, this would be a good time for that. From wherever you are, we're going into standing half moon today. So I'd like for you to see the pose. That way you're able to decide for yourself how you might want to do the pose. So standing half moon is where we lean into one side and then we open up, kind of like you're about to do a cartwheel and then one leg lifts. So one way to experiment with this pose is to start with your feet at a casual straddle expression with both toes forward. I'm going to turn my left toe out, and it's just like a warrior two stance. Bending my left knee, I'm lunging towards that left leg, standing in my left leg. I'm using a wall for support. You could use a chair, a doorknob, if you have a doorknob close enough to you. You could use a yoga block if you want to come down close to the floor with this. No matter where you are, establish some stability in that standing leg. Now think about what the back leg is doing. Let's flatten that back foot And then imagine you're going to rotate your heel up towards the sky or your big toe down a little bit. So the most common misalignment in this pose is people wanting to kick their foot up and out to the sky. And instead, what we're looking for is a little bit of a rotation in while we do what's called an abduction through that hip. So if you start to feel some tightness or even some sensations of pressure in your hip, that is very common. If you know that it's painful, lower the leg a little bit and relax your toe a little bit. So this is considered an outer hip or outer buttocks muscle strengthener for the body. Holding for maybe just 1 or 2 more easy breaths. When you're ready, soften through that standing leg. Let's slowly come up, both feet on the floor. Let's give our bodies a sense of being fully supported, both feet, before we do the other side. When you're ready, taking it out to that casual straddle, turning the right toe out or your other foot. Let's bend the knee, a lot like Warrior Two, a lot like a cartwheel. Let's lean the energy into that standing right leg. Establish stability through that leg. And now notice the back foot. Flexing the foot, turning the big toe down and the heel up. It's an abduction. So it does actually compress the outer hip. You might even want to pull your hip up and tighten the muscles at the waist. Rotating that big toe down, lifting through the heel. Again, if it starts to feel tight in the hip, if there's a quiver, or if there's tension, this is common. That could be as a result of the muscle activating and strengthening through your hips, your low back, your thighs. If there's any pain, it could be too much compression. So you would lower your leg and relax your foot a little bit. Let's hold it here, just 2 more breaths. Exaggerate the inhale and exhale. When you're ready, take your time to slowly come up, both feet on the floor. Let's feel the earth fully supporting us. All right, let's gather the breath 3 times. Inhale. Exhale, take the hands back. Big backstroke movement. If you want, inhale, lift your heels, come up onto the toes, and then drop the heels, backstroke. 1 more, big breath in. And exhale back. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, swan diving, forward fold. Option to take 1 foot back at a time into downward facing dog. If you think that your body would rather have child's pose, lower the knees and take the hips back. You could also stay on the elbows, lace your fingers, tuck the toes, lift the hips and knees into dolphin. So allow your body to choose for you what type of stretch you want as we transition into a little bit of core work. Either down dog, dolphin, or child's pose. And you know, your knees might be telling you what to do, your wrist might be making suggestions to you, or even your neck and shoulders. So allow these various parts of the body that need some patience and tender loving care. Allow those parts of the body to find a posture where there is the most comfort in those spaces. So it can be work, but we don't want it to be hurtful to the body. Let's find our breath. Start exaggerating the exhales. Let's all bring our knees down to the floor. Reset the hips either in child's pose or maybe keep those hips up high into puppy dog pose. From either the elbows or the hands, shift forward with both knees down and maybe see or feel that there is a straight line from your elbow to your shoulder or shoulder, elbow, wrist, or shoulder, elbow, fist, wrist, fist. Any one of these is going to work. From wherever you are, extend whatever leg you have closest to me. Extend that leg out straight behind you. Now, whatever leg is still on the floor, let's swivel that foot off of the mat behind us. From there, whatever arm is closest to me, as you inhale, open that top arm. So we're moving into a supported side angle or a kneeling side angle. And it can be done with lots of different arm positions. The main thing is to get this stretch along the side of the body and then to open across. You can look up, very traditional, but also a little strenuous on the neck. Or go ahead and gaze down. Option to close the eyes. If you're feeling a little curious, maybe a little playful today, lift that extended leg. Add in just a small lift. And this becomes a kneeling half moon. One more big breath. Exhale, lower that leg. Let's take both hands down. Take your time to reset the hips. That might be down dog. That might be dolphin or child's pose again. Notice how your shoulder and your wrist feels. Move some things around. When you're ready, let's establish our kneeling foundation. Knees under the hips. Shoulders and elbows are stacked. If we're on our hands, shoulder, elbow, wrist. Shoulder, elbow, fist, either one. Let's take our other leg out straight. Whatever leg is kneeling, take that kneeling foot, swivel it back. And now inhale, opening up, reaching dynamically through the top arm, kneeling side plank. Let's get some comfort in our gaze, looking up. Or looking just a little bit down. Shift awareness to the breath. Exaggerate the breath. Big stretch on the side of the body. Big opening across the heart and shoulders. Add in that little accent by lifting your extended leg into kneeling half moon. Ardha Chandrasana, the half moon. One more big breath in, open up. And now exhale, let's lower our hands, our knees and feet. Again, option to reset the body in any way that feels natural for you. You can walk the dog or come down to kneeling and try alternating a leg extension. It looks a little bit like a runner's lunge. Maybe not as hard on the knees and hips. When you're ready, take your time to come down to the knees and let's all lower down onto our bellies just for a moment. From here, let's take our elbows and hands under the body. And if you are noticing any pain in your back, you may want to walk the arms a little bit forward. This is going to lower the chest, less of a back bend this way. From here, let's squeeze our toes and knees to touching and try lifting your feet away from the floor. So lifting the feet away from the floor is usually something that is easier for our bodies to execute. Now, where this becomes more of a challenge is when we squeeze our knees together, and now try to lift your knees away from the floor. Maybe even squeeze your buttocks muscles together, squeeze the thighs together, and the knees are only gonna lift maybe half an inch or even a quarter inch from the floor. It's not very big at all. Let's take our palms down and lift through the chest. If you want to take this into locust, reach back with the hands, palms up, and look forward on your yoga mat. Locust position, continuing to squeeze the knees together. You can do it. Big breath. Squeeze the knees, squeeze the buttocks, lift, lift, lift. Imagine that there's maybe somebody pulling up on your toes and ankles. One more big inhale. And now exhale, relax everything down. Take your head to the left or right. Find the breath in your belly and find the breath in your back on the sides of the spine. Maybe turn your head the other direction. Let's bring our gaze to center. So from here, go ahead and roll to one side. And let's lie down on our backs for a moment. If you want, go ahead and start by stretching both legs out straight and both arms straight up overhead. Stick gesture or the stick posture. So we're going to move this today from stick pose into a supine tree position. So from wherever you are, go ahead and keep that left leg stretched out. Bend the right knee and place your right foot just on the inside of that left knee. Let's slowly let that right knee slowly begin to open out to the side, moving into tree pose, lying down on our backs. Let's steady the breath while we're here. Relax your left foot, the left leg, the left toe. Slowly take that right knee up. Let's bend both knees. Press into your feet and let both knees twist to the left. So we're going to counter that big open hip with a gentle twist. Let's take our arms down beside us with the palms up, looking towards the right fingertips. Notice an open energy in your upper right lung. When you're ready, let's slowly bring both knees to center. Let's feel that the energy is balanced and pretty comfortable in your tailbone and hips. You could always put a pillow underneath your hips if that's more comfortable, or a blanket. Let's take our right leg and straighten it down to the floor. Walk the left foot in close to the right knee. As we inhale, we're opening that left knee out to the side for tree pose. Inhaling, arms can come up and overhead. Maybe the palms are touching and they're over your head, feeling as if the armpits slightly stretch. Relax the right foot. The breath is really opening the left lung, all along the left lung. From here, let's slowly bring that left knee up in both knees, moving into that gentle twist. We'll push into our feet, both knees twisting to the right, lowering our arms down like a T, palms facing up, and turning to look to the left hand. Again, noticing the breath in your upper left lung. When you're ready, both knees flow through center. Let's hug the knees in towards the chest, reset the low back, and maybe take the knees out wide for happy baby pose. We could always reach for the big toe and add in a playful sway. You could even cross the feet over each other a little bit. Soften the low back. Notice if the feelings in the pose change. If you come to a still point and really think about relaxing the backs of the knees, relaxing the back of your ankles, Achilles tendon, and now relax the thighs and the inner hip area. Breathe in through the nose, exaggerate the inhale. Exhale with ease. A couple more easy breaths. When you're ready, release the feet. Let your body move in any natural way so that you're able to get comfortable for final relaxation and a short meditation. From wherever you are, maybe place a hand on your heart and the other hand down beside you. Let's just notice any subtle movements in the chest. We can practice a few deep breaths simply to bring awareness to the body and the breath, that intimate connection. Eventually, we are going to soften the belly, soften the breath. And as we become more relaxed, the breath becomes a little more shallow in the chest. Let's notice a heaviness in the body with every exhale. You may even feel that every exhalation is removing a layer of stress, a layer of burden. And maybe you begin to rest a little more deeply into your Shavasana. Become aware of a feeling of lightness that is coexisting in this place of support. So, noticing where there are places that have space behind the ears, maybe behind your ankles and knees, maybe even the space between your nose and your top lip, space between the eyebrows. Notice space in the inner ears. For the next few easy breaths, on every inhale, hearing the sound so. On the exhale, hearing the sound hum. Without having to make an audible sound, without having to recruit any muscle of the throat or mouth. We hear with the mind on this meditation, inhaling the sound. So, exhaling, hearing the sound hum. Let's try this for about a quiet minute working with this meditation. You may want to take that hand that's over the heart and release it, relaxing both arms, relaxing the chest, neck, head, and shoulders. In your mind, you're welcome to repeat after me these closing affirmations in relaxation. Seeing a red light or seeing the color red, having a sense of warm energy in the body. I am safe. Now seeing orange, bright, juicy orange light, and feeling light, like you're floating on water, a sense of buoyancy, affirming, I feel. It is safe to feel, and that could be body sensation or emotion or even sixth sense, our intuition. I feel. Become aware of a warm gold light. I create. You can customize this. I create my life, my joy, my beliefs, my perceptions, owning our own innate power I create. Feel that you're surrounded by green, seeing green. I love. I am loved. Seeing bright turquoise blue. I listen. Also, I understand. Seeing violet, bright purple, I see. Intuition, insight. I see. Also, I know. I know what is right for me. Finally, bright white light. I am. And maybe just leave that undefined. I am. Just owning a sensation of knowing or feeling your existence in this moment. Feeling your body, your breath, your ability to observe your life experience. I am an understanding of a higher, more enlightened self. From wherever you are, deep in your breath, allow any part of the body to move and to shift if you want to come up to seated for closing. I thank you for joining me today in our Yoga for Everybody practice. We can bring our hands together at the heart, drawing in a deep unifying breath and closing together until I see you again. Namaste. Have a beautiful day, everyone.